Welcome to the Mrs. R Relevant Daily Draft Podcast. Joined with Chris and Dalton. It's our normal Monday crew. We're going to be diving into some defensive line prospects, but before we do that, Dalton, it feels like it's been 7 days since I've seen you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. Everything's going well. How about y'all?
I am doing pretty good. It's always nice to be podcasting on Victory Monday.
Yeah, good one for y'all, man.
Yep.
Easy game, but still, you did what you were supposed to do.
Well, you know, the Panthers did wax the Falcons team that waxed Buffalo. So it's definitely a week-to-week league. Chris, you're podcasting right in the middle of a Chiefs game, so I appreciate your dedication.
No problem. And also, I'm getting ready for tomorrow. We just got Will Thomas will be joining us this week, so we're going to definitely be talking about the firing of Brian Kelly. And we were already talking off the air. We were talking with Brian. I'm like, how many more coaches are getting fired? How many? This is going to be like the bloodbath of all bloodbaths in the SEC.
Yeah, I've seen 8 or 9 maybe openings in the SEC this year alone. That's what I've been hearing.
Well, and cue the Joe Brady to LSU rumors. If Brian Daboll gets fired from the Giants, I could see him being a really good college head coach. I'm here for it. We are here today to go over some defensive linemen in the NFL draft. So we had a late modification. We added Brandon Cleveland from NC State to this podcast. We'll cover him in a minute. Then we're going to dive into Dontay Corleone from Cincinnati, Peter Woods from Clemson, TJ Parker from Clemson, Mikail Kamara from Indiana, LT Overton from Alabama, Keldric Faulk from Auburn, and then Rueben Bain from Miami. Definitely a star-studded defensive line podcast. The defensive line podcast will not get better than today. Chris, what did you see when you watched Brandon Cleveland from NC State?
I mean, he's a big guy. He has some good pass rush skills. I mean, it pops off at, when you look at him, he has NFL lineman size. I think the tough part is when I'm looking at the games, it's just NC State is so bad that there's times when teams they're wearing him down because the defense can't get off the field. I wonder how his gas tank is, but then again, it's when they're putting up 40 points and 35 points. It's just tough to get off. So he's a project, but the NFL, they love size. He's 6'3", 314. So you're gonna have some team will take a flyer at him and go, hey, you know what? We can use him as rotational pass rush defensive tackle.
Dalton, how about you? What did you see with Brandon Cleveland from NC State?
Yeah, he does have some pass rush upside. He could definitely push the pocket for his size, make the pocket smaller. But when I was watching him, he was just didn't stand out against the run. Maybe he got double teamed a lot, because he doesn't have much help, like Chris mentioned. The rest of that defense is pretty barren of good talent. But he does make some plays against the pass, and I like him as a rotational pass rusher. He's just not good enough against the run for his size. You'd think he'd be able to clog the middle, really make a lot of big stops in the run game, and you can't. So that's where his ceiling is not the highest. I think 6th round, 7th round, yeah.
So are both of you guys at like round 5, 6, 7 on Brandon Cleveland?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's a pass rush upside, but I don't think he's a 3-down guy.
Okay. So the next player, Dontay Corleone from Cincinnati. Dalton, what did you have on the Cincinnati defensive tackle?
Obviously great size, 335. Could be a little taller, his arm length could be longer, but man, he's such a crazy athlete. He can overcome that most of the time. Benched 485 pounds, squatted 605, deadlifted 700 pounds this offseason, and 4.68 shuttle time, which would have been the second fastest in the last 5 years for a guy his size. So it's just a freak athlete. Great first step. That shows with the athleticism. Creates penetration immediately at the snap sometimes. Great leverage, it's natural leverage. He's 6'1". It's really hard to get under him. and he can really anchor against a double team just because of that reason. It's hard to move him off his spot. He has a really good punch move too. It's really powerful. If a guy's benching 485, I don't want to get punched by him really. So I think, you know what I mean? I know they got shoulder pads, but man, I can still feel that. You could see it. It immediately creates separation from the lineman when he gets a good one in. Really good motor too for his size. You would think, he gets wore down a little bit, but not really, man. He's sideline to sideline pursuing guy. He can make plays on the backside, and he's also versatile. He can play, three. He can play nose. He can play 3 tech. So I like him, but he needs better moves in his pass rush. Right now, it's just bull rush really, and if that's stopped initially, he can really struggle to disengage. And but I like him. I like him second round, I think.
Okay, so you have a round 2 in Corleone, so love hearing that. Chris, where do you have Dontay Corleone?
I mean, to piggyback off what Dalton said, you look at him and he's this – for a guy his size, he's a super freak athlete. Like he benches 485, he deadlifts 700. When you see him, you think, okay, he's just going to be just a run plugger. But he is excellent, in terms of intuition. He knows how to disrupt timing on run pass plays. He can play the 3 technique, he can play the 4 technique. We've seen him, he is a dog in terms of he will, from the beginning whistle to the end, he will hustle up to the play. It's just like a lot of these defensive tackles I've noticed in this draft, they're raw with their pass rush. It's just, we're going to bull rush you. And in the NFL, I don't know how well that works. The weight's a concern, I think, for teams. It's one of those, okay, you're 6'1", 335. Will he eat himself out of a league? Will he get, injured because he's not in shape? He looks – the conditioning is always going to be there. So I'd go round 3 on him just because he's a little bit too raw. Teams are going to be looking at, okay – is he going to be a right-away guy, or is he going to be a 2-down player to begin with, and then we'll work on a pass rush? But the potential is there.
So I'm curious how, like Dalton, how do you factor Dontay Corleone's medicals into your eval? Because what was it, 2 years ago, he retired from football because of blood clots. Then he came back. Does that affect how you would grade him at all?
I mean, maybe a little bit, but we've seen guys do this. Julian Phillips for the Dolphins. He retired from Miami, he went to UCLA, and he ended up being a first rounder. So we've seen guys overcome that, and I think he's been on the field this year. He's trying to prove that he can stay healthy. And if it's just one injury, right? He only had one.
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
That's what I was thinking. So one injury, if it was several injuries, different body parts, same body part multiple times, that would be a big concern. But it looks like he can overcome that.
Chris, how about you? Did the medicals affect your grade at all?
A little bit. That's why I put the third round with third, because it's not so much the blood clots; it's just the weight. If he was like a 290-pound guy, I don't think people would mind as much, because we saw it with Christian Barmore. Yeah, he missed a year and then he came back, and now he still looks like a stud because of the NFL modern medicine. Being 6'1", 35, you're always worried, like, oh, crap, is this going to be something that's recurring? Will this pop up again? So that's why I put him at a third-round grade, slightly.
Okay. So the next player we're going to cover is Peter Woods from Clemson. Chris, what is your evaluation and grade on Peter Woods right now?
I'm gonna be just really down on a lot of Clemson players. Because I don't know what the hell's going on with that program. Look, last year you saw everything. He's explosive off a snap. He is a freak athlete in terms of his fluidity. With a guy his size, he can bend and contort through gaps that somebody 6'3", 315 shouldn't be able to do. He has good instincts. Like, he can get into. He can blow up the run. He can blow up passes. He's just a powerful guy. Part of it is the pass rush plan. Like we talk with a lot of these guys, it's just They have a plan. It's like, we're gonna use our incredible athletic talent. And then what happens when it doesn't work? Well, they have no plan. He gets over aggressive too much. At times, he's been caught playing too high when fatigued, and the production doesn't match physical dominance. Like, that's what's bothering me. You look at Clemson with him, Parker, Terrell. They should be destroying teams, and yet they gave up 35 to Syracuse. They gave up 28, I think, to SMU. We're not talking like SEC teams. We're talking literally teams that are decent to half decent. So I got to ask, what the hell is going on with Clemson? Why are they not doing that great? So he's a first round. I wouldn't take him top 10. He's a top 15, 20 guy right now.
Dalton, where are you on Peter Woods?
Yeah, it's actually it's a pretty hard eval actually because last year you saw him dominating games. Coming into the year, top 5 on most people's boards. Him and TJ Parker, and the Clemson, like you said, it's not a good place to be right now. The program's in really big dysfunction. I mean, the coach, you don't know what he's going to say day to day. Dabo Swinney seems like a dead man walking at that program right now, and I don't think that helps the players. They know that they're not playing for the coach, and I think that shows. But still, what we've seen last year, it didn't go away. We still got the explosive first step, then went into snap. He's really good at leverage. Immediately get under the pads, and his athleticism is really rare for his size too. Man, he can get in the gaps, really small gaps that most guys can't. That play D tackle. He can play inside or edge in 3-4, I think. So I do think he's a little versatile with his pass rushing and great instincts in the run game. He can recognize blocking schemes and that kind of thing. Maintains good gap integrity in the run too. It's hard to get him out of his gap. Good bull rush too in the pass rush, and he needs better pass rush plan. He needs a spin move. Something like that, because once his first move is stalled, that's when he struggles. He's not really going to get to the quarterback after that. And late in games, he definitely plays high. He gets fatigued. So that's something he needs to get better at. And once blockers latch onto him, the longer armed guys, he's really hard for him to get off. So I still got him top 20, but I don't know if I would love him top 20. If the Giants drafted him, I don't think I would love it.
Okay, so both of you have a first-round grade on Peter Woods. You're just not saying top 10. I think that's what I heard.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if he shows out the rest of the year, that starts doing what he did last year, then maybe we'll talk about top 10 again. But right now, I just think he's top 20.
Anything to add, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, the potential's there, and he's the best defensive tackle in this draft. It's just, as we said, where's the production? Why is this team that you looked and went, okay, they, last year they were in the college football playoffs. I mean, they're if it wasn't for Penn State, they'd be my most disappointing team in all college football.
Right up there with them. I was probably splitting hairs really between them two. They both got 3 losses already, right?
Yeah, and as I said, it's between him and TJ Parker. It's 4 sacks. Like, how does a team that last year was so dominant, and all of a sudden you're 3-4, and you're going, okay, not only are we out of the ACC championship game, we might be trending out of a bowl game altogether. So yeah, there should be warning signs for a lot of these guys.
I agree.
Okay, so sticking with the same team, just switching positions on the defensive line. Dalton, what is your current draft assessment of TJ Parker from Clemson?
I mean, it's kind of the same as the last guy, except he just plays edge instead of D tackle, He showed the talent last year. He had 6 forced fumbles last year. Now he doesn't even have 6 sacks. So, yeah, his production's also fell off a cliff this year. And it's just is it Clemson or is it these players just not playing for the coach? It's tough to tell. But you can see the talent with this guy, man. A great hand usage when setting blocks. He has a violent punch too, especially for his size. 260, but he's really strong for his size. He's really good setting the edge against the run. A lot of these edges this year are good against the run, better than usual, I'd say. He sheds blockers, he controls the gap in the run really well. He has a good pass rush plan. It's refined for his age, definitely. Good football IQ because he can diagnose screens really quickly. It's hard to throw screens on him. He can rush stand up or hand in the dirt, so I like his versatility. He can play, end or outside linebacker. He does need to get better at dropping into coverage, though. If he wants to play outside linebacker, he's very stiff in his hips. And he's not the fastest, most explosive guy off the snap either. He wins more like technique and skill than athleticism. And his pad level definitely gets too high at times. And he's not the best tackler in space either, but these are all things you can fix. And I think if he goes to the right team, man, he could be a Pro Bowler type guy. But I got to see more from him this year. I still got him first round, but just like Peter Woods, a little bit not top 10, top 20, top 30, maybe even late first round.
Chris, how about you? What is your current assessment of TJ Parker from Clemson?
I have him going now in the second round. I think there's too many guys who are passing him by. And again, if I'm an NFL team, I'd want to sit down with them and go, what the hell's went on in Clemson that has made this so bad? Like last year you saw, the ball dislodging, he's incredibly, advanced technician for his age, the sequences, the pass rush moves, constant production. He has a nasty demeanor when he's on the field. He loves to elevate his game, attack people. He's versatile. He's lined up all over the place. And this year, it's been just hot and cold. There's games I'd watch him, and it's like I don't even notice him on the field. I don't see him doing anything. So he plays too high. They're trying to use him in pass coverage, and to him it doesn't feel right. He's probably just a 4-3 edge. He goes too much for like the heavy arm tackles, and that falters. But I don't see the same guy, and I question if he has the athleticism to be that elite edge rusher. That's why I have him down to second round now, because I just look and go, something's wrong. And I don't know what it is, but the other teams probably seen this and going, you're not what we expect from an elite edge rusher.
Okay. So, Chris, how many edges do you have ahead of TJ Parker right now?
I have 6.
And can you list off the 6? We're probably covering a couple more of them later on in the podcast, but could you list the 6 players?
Yeah, David Bailey, Cassius Howell, Romelio Height, Rueben Bain, Vincent Anthony Jr., and Mateo Ugalete. I have all ahead of him.
Okay. And Dalton, how about you? Where is Parker on your edge board right now?
I got him behind Bain and Keldric Faulk. I still got him third right now. But
okay.
It's really close, like 3 to 6, very jumbled right now.
Okay. And for anybody watching the podcast, if you're watching this on Rewind, we are live right now, and it's still a couple days before Halloween. So this is a mid-season evaluation. There is still plenty of football left to be played, which could change the grades that Dalton and Chris just gave. So another edge, Mikail Kamara from Indiana. Dalton, what do you think of the Indiana edge?
There's another guy who was so productive his first 3 years. That this year so far, though, he only has 4 tackles and 1 sack. And Indiana's playing great, so it's like, it's hard to really nitpick him. But man, you would like more stats. Last year he had 10.5 sacks, led the conference, and only 1 so far this year is crazy. But he has a great first step. Natural leverage, being 6'1", you can get under guys' pads easy. Good hand fighting technique, violent punch, really good swim. It's a good stack and shed against the run game. And he has a great motor, like a lot of these guys, great motor in pursuit. And he's really fast. So he can definitely get ball carries on the backside. I think he can win standing up or hand in the dirt, another one of those guys. Like you see right now, he's in the 4-point stance, but he can definitely play standing up too. He has a good speed to power conversion. But overall, it's a lack of size. 6'1", 260. I like my edge rusher 6'3", 6'4". The long arms, I like the long arms, and I know some people think it's overrated, but it means a lot. And then he doesn't really jump in coverage well either, and they try to at times, and he's just gonna be a pure edge rusher. So I got him 4th round because I don't think he's more than a pass rush specialist right now, and not an amazing one.
Chris, where are you and Mikail Kamara from Indiana?
I have him as a 4th or 5th round pick. And I get it. Last year he was an explosive, and this year, like I watched the Oregon game, and it was just I'm looking and it's sort of I don't notice him. And when I looked at the tape, it was like, okay, well, he's getting just stonewalled. He is not a guy who you look and go, he's going to beat you with speed. I mean, he does everything. He has a technique, and he's relentless. He is a violent player in terms of his hand-punching technique. It's just you look and you go, oh, crap, this is a guy who's just too small. He's not fast enough, not big enough. I mean, teams they'll look at him and they'll go, we can maybe do something because he's just a good player, but I don't see it. It's just in the NFL, unless you are incredibly fast, incredibly, powerful or big, you just don't fit against defensive tackles now who are so incredibly, large and massive that they'll overwhelm you.
Okay. So I heard day 3 on Mikail Kamara from both of you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Next player, LT Overton from Alabama. Chris, what do you have on LT Overton?
I've never been an LT Overton fan. And look, I get it. You look at him and he looks like he walked out of a mad scientist weight room. 6'5", 275. He looks like the part, and he's an excellent run stuffer. His freakish size. He shows closing bursts when he's trying to catch into people. Relentless motor. Good, functional power at the attack. Like he won't get bullied around. He has pretty good bend for his size. There's no pass rush point except I'm going to bully you over. He doesn't have a lot of counter moves, and the production scares the crap out of me. I mean, I know I've argued with people in our chats like, oh, look at the player, don't look at the production. Production will come, but 2 sacks, he's never had more than 5. And again, that's my problem is like, if you're going to take a guy in the first 2 rounds, you want to have seen like, all right, you can dominate. You can be a guy who is going to be a pass rush specialist at worst because we need pass rushing ability. Again, for what he is, he'll get drafted probably. I have a 3rd round grade on him. I just looking, it's like 6 sacks in 4 years. That should scream to you like he's a run-stuffing defensive end.
Okay. Dalton, where are you in LT Overton halfway through the season?
Right now, I got him 2nd round, so not too far off of where Chris is, but I just think his versatility, I think he can play inside against the pass and be effective. They don't do that much at Bama, but I think in the NFL, if they do move him inside on third and long passing situations, that's where he can really, really productive. A lot of times, college D tackles have bad production, so that doesn't really translate a lot of times. So I don't look at that too much, as much as I do other positions. Like he's not a true edge, I don't think. He's an edge D tackle tweener. That's why he's not great against the pass. He's so good against the run. I think if you're in the right scheme where you really treasure that kind of thing, a guy that can stop the run at the edge, then this guy could be higher on your board. He could even be like 1st rounder because he's such a good edge against the run. His gap discipline is great. He can change directions really good for his size against the run. Really good bull rush to collapse the pocket, especially from the inside. His motor runs hot all 4 quarters. He's definitely not a question his conditioning kind of guy. But inconsistent pad level, when he's lined up inside, he would have to fix that if he does want to play to the next level. And he definitely needs better timing at the snap to get off and better pass rushing moves. But I like his upside, so I think round 2 is good for him right now.
So, Dalton, do you think he is a better 3-4 defensive end, 4-3 edge, or 4-3-3 technique?
I think I like him as a 3-4 in the most right now.
Okay.
That would be a good spot for him because you're mostly playing the run. You got the outside. If you have a good outside linebackers, that can help rush the passer.
Chris, what do you think his best NFL position is?
He's probably a 4-3 defensive end. He's just going to be a guy who's like a run stuffer, like a Dietrich Wise is my sort of ideal pick for him.
Okay. Okay, so we have two more players to go. Keldric Faulk from Auburn. Chris, tell everybody why they want their team to draft Keldric Faulk.
He is what you want in a defensive end. He's my defensive end one. He's just this imposing 6'6", 288-pound defensive end. I know people are going to say, well, he doesn't have as much production as the other guys, but he gets double teamed a lot. And you look at Auburn, and their defense has been the one thing that they've been able to hang their hat on. I mean, and he is an excellent run defender. He's constantly setting the edge. He reroutes runners. They line him up all over the place. He'll play defensive end. He'll play tackle. He will be a guy who is sometimes even over the nose if they think that's a good position for him for pass rush. Incredible motor. He goes from play to play, and he's always moving. The pass rush is basically still a lot of those. If the initial move gets stalled, he just basically keeps using it. He struggles at times with changing directions. He needs work with the zone blocking. It's just, man, this guy is so big and impressive. And when he's on, he could be a force. So, to me, he is a top 10 pick.
Okay. So, Dalton, where are you on Keldric Faulk, the edge from Auburn?
Yeah, I'm just as high as Chris is. I got a top 10 as well. Number 2 edge, though, behind the guy we'll talk about next, Rueben Bain. I like him. I like Bain a little more, but, man, Faulk, it's great size. Look at that. That's what you want. Just 6'6", 285 is probably prototypical, especially with his athleticism. Great 2-gap potential in the run game. Line up 5 tech, inside and forward. He can line up anywhere on the line. Great long arm stab. Take advantage of his arm length. 6'6", got great arms. Really violent against pullers, man. You'll see him just take them to the ground, pancake them. Some guys when they try to pull against him, and it's awesome. He doesn't leave a spot in the run game either. So cut back lanes, all that. He makes sure the runners go inside. He consistently forces the runners inside, or they can't bounce it out. Squatted over 700 pounds this offseason, so he's a physical freak. The only thing about him is slow get off the line at times, and the counter moves, like Chris said, he could definitely get better with that. And hand placement, if lineman gets to his chest first, he can definitely struggle knowing where to put his hands to get off the block. But, man, he's just such a physical freak. And somebody's going to be really happy drafting this guy top 10. He's going to have a great career.
Okay. So, Dalton, Rueben Bain from Miami, you said he is your edge one, correct?
Yeah.
Tell everybody why he is your edge one.
I just think, he's a better pass rusher than Keldric Faulk, and I think he can put on 10 more pounds and be Keldric Faulk's size. He won't have the length being 6'3", but I think he could put on 10 more and still have the same explosiveness he has, man. His first step's crazy off the snap. Sometimes the lineman can't even get his hands on this guy. He can send blockers backwards if they do. Great pursuit, chase down the quarterback, backside of runs. It's crazy he gets chase down these scramblers at being his size, man, but he's really good in space. Great bull rush, swim move, very refined already. And his counter moves are getting better every week, it seems like. Like every game, he seems getting better at that. His bend, flexibility going around the edge for his size is just next level, I'd say. And he's a really good run defender, too, so I don't think you're going to miss anything in the run. This guy's just everything you want in a D end to me, man. He's probably the number 1 overall pick. I got him top 5 for sure, but I think most people think he's number 1, and there's no reason he shouldn't be. There's no quarterback standing out this year. Nobody playing better football than him.
And Chris, what is your scouting report on Rueben Bain?
I have him as a first-round pick. I have him as a lower first-round pick, though. And the Louisville game is what really haunted me because I saw a defensive end who didn't do anything. I mean, we're talking about this guy, and we're going, "Oh yeah, he's top 5 pick, great player." And okay, and I heard the arguments last year. Well, he was injured, that's why his sack total fell from 7.5 to 3.5. This year, he has 2 sacks, and look, when he's on, the Notre Dame game was you see everything. The nuclear first step. He's relentless in pursuit. He's excellent flexibility at 6'3", 275. He gets into. He's a diagnosis, run plays quickly, does all of this, and then you start looking hard, and it's like he doesn't face a lot of good competition, which worries me. And when he did against Louisville, they just shut him down. He did not get a lot of pressures, didn't get any sacks, had 1 tackle, and then you start looking like, all right, it's University of South Florida, it's Florida State, it's Stanford, it's Bethune-Cookman Wildcats, it's Notre Dame who's starting a sophomore tackle. Like, again, a guy like this should have more than 2 sacks. So I guess that's my concern with you, Dalton. If I'm, let's say you have a Tennessee Titans, or I have a New York Jets, or I'm the Baltimore Ravens, I have a top 5 pick, and then you're pitching all this. How do you explain right now the fact that this guy that everybody is saying is top 5 only has 2 sacks and 1 forced fumble against competition, which you could argue maybe 2 really good teams and everybody else is sort of average?
I mean, yeah, you're right. The production could be a lot better, but we see that every year with these first-round DNs, right? It doesn't scare teams off. Like, Seymour Stewart was a huge example of that last year, of course. Yeah, his talent won out. I think Bain had more production than Seymour, higher ceiling, just because he knows the game, man. I think he knows the game better. His football IQ is better. He's more disciplined than Seymour. I think the production will come, but a lot of times they roll out away from him. They chip him, they double him a lot, and he ain't gonna have to deal with that in the NFL, especially his first couple of seasons.
And I get that. It's just like Abdul Carter. When you looked at him, you said the same things, and you said, "Man, this guy just dominates. He is a force. You cannot stop him when doing double teams and all that." And other guys would feast off of him if you did. I don't get this with Bain Jr. And as I said, it's just 2 really good teams, and one had a veteran tackle, the other one had a sophomore. I'm sorry. I get it, and maybe the right coach will unlock the secrets, and maybe this is just another Michael Mueller. We're sitting there going, "Oh my God, we fell for it. We took the cheese."
Okay. So that finishes the edges and the defensive line that we were going to cover today. I'm going to pull up the list for next week, but while we're doing that, Dalton, do you want to introduce everybody to Home Squad Sports and tell them about all the other things that you do?
Yeah, I'm Dalton with Home Squad Sports, one half with Daniel. On here every Monday. We have our live show every Monday at noon and every Wednesday night at 8. Today we had 200 live viewers, so we're getting more viewers every time. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate you, Jim, having me on. I think this platform definitely expanded our viewership, so thank you.
You're welcome. Chris.
You can check me out at lastcallpodcast.com. I'm also on YouTube and Rumble. Last Call. I also am on Twitter, which is Last Call WChrisC. I am on LinkedIn and Facebook. This week we had Marcel Dorff talking about the dreaded UFC 321 card. We can catch that on the site. And this week was scheduled for us. We'll be having 2 NFL draft professor consultants here on the show. Will Thomas with Will Thomas Sports, and Andy of Andy NFL is going to be joining us also. So check out some big things. And once again, always an honor and pleasure being on the Draft Professor podcast.
Well, it's awesome to see other draft professors showing up on each other's podcasts. That's a lot of what we do. That was the vision as Randall and I were putting this whole thing together. So I love having both of you on this podcast. I love seeing your podcasts do well with other draft professors guest appearing on your podcasts. there is a formula there that I think is quite successful right now. We have another good set of defensive linemen next week. So next week, we're covering Dominique Orange from Iowa State, Marvin Jones Jr. from Oklahoma, Romello Height from Texas Tech, Max Llewellyn from Iowa, Rayshawn Benny from Michigan, Chris McClellan from Missouri, Aaron Grace from Iowa, and James Smith from Alabama. So every Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, you will see Chris and Dalton here breaking down the defensive line class. There are plenty of other Draft Professor podcasts, which are now going across the bottom. We do quarterbacks Mondays at 7. We did Cole Payton earlier today with 2 other quarterbacks. So every Monday at 7, we'll be breaking down 3 quarterbacks. Then Monday night, we do defensive line. Tuesday at 7:30, we break down 8 wide receivers. Then Tuesday, most weeks, Tuesdays at 9 is offensive line. That podcast flipped to Wednesday this week. Long story. Wednesday at 7 is corners. Wednesday at 9, usually defensive linemen. Thursdays early, safeties. Thursdays at 9, running backs. Fridays, linebackers. So a week from Friday, James Foster is coming on Draft Professor to give his assessment of 8 linebackers at a time. So that'll be Sam Teets, James Foster, Anthony Russo breaking down the linebacker class. Then Fridays late, 9 p.m. Eastern would be corners. We do offensive linemen Saturday morning. We do defensive linemen Sunday morning. And if all of that is really confusing, what you need to do is either watch every Draft Professor podcast and look for the schedule scrolling, or go follow NFL Draft Fanatic on Twitter and look at the pinned post, because the pinned post tells you what the podcast schedule is. But that being said, for Chris, Dalton, myself, for the 107 podcasters at the Draft Professor, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you on a podcast again tomorrow.